Should the Chicago Bulls really explore trading Zach Lavine? We'll talk about that ridiculous statement and more right after. You know what? Skip the freaking intro. We finna go right into it, man. Listen, because I done scoured this whole internet. Then went on this little Bluebird app and saw a lot of Chicago Bulls fans sit there and come up with the most ridiculous trade scenarios I've ever seen in my life. I don't know where we find you all at. But sincerely, some of you all are really not real fans of this particular team. And some of you all clearly don't watch basketball. One of the most prevalent things I've seen so far, and my guys at the on Locked On Bulls, Pat and Hayes, talked about it, things of that nature. It's not coming at them because it's breaking, it's news. People want to talk about it. It's trending for some apparent reason. Guess what? No. You should not now nor ever think about trading Zach Lavine for no freaking Jaylen Brown. That don't make sense now. It don't make sense never. Oh, some of you all even had the gall to sit there and say that we would love to see them two together. Can tell you don't watch basketball. If you want to go see them two together, you want to see how that's going to work out, just go back and rewind the 2023 NBA Eastern Conference Finals and we'll say just lost to the Miami Heat. Same freaking players. It's redundancy at the position. They do the same thing. Why would you do that? Why would you even entertain that? Why would you want that? Some of you all are not real fans of this team. Some of you all are just talking to be talking. Some of you all just sit there and type stuff to be typing, have no idea what the heck is really going on. Clearly, you don't really understand basketball. I'm going to say that again, because why would you do that? Let's rewind it even further. Again, all the trades that you've heard me personally say were not because these players weren't good. It's because of time frame, what we were trying to build, things of that nature. DeMar DeRozan is unfortunately that trade piece. He's an all-star now, but he's also the oldest between our two stars at the wing in guard position. It makes sense. We are not in a win now situation. We're not a top 4 or 5 team. We're not one player over the hump for a championship run. We're trying to get out the freaking first round. So guess what? You use that player, use what he's done, use the fact that he's on an expiring contract, and you try to fill out the other pieces around your younger star who you just paid $215 or signed a $215 contract with. And then you try to use that to get pieces around him or develop the pieces on your team. That's what makes sense. That's what's worked. That's what's worked since the beginning of time. But some of you all have the unmitigated gall to sit there and say, hey, you know what? Let's sit there and roll with the fact of trading him and rebuilding for what? To do what? To do what? To do. I've seen trades as stupid. And then again, I made a video on this one. It's the dumbest thing in the world. DeMar DeRozan for RJ freaking Barrett. You mean to tell me out of all the things, who the heck saw that and said that's a good idea? First of all, New York fans, you suck. At this point, there's no way in the world you think that RJ Barrett is even on the same plane, even comparable to DeMar DeRozan. In fact, RJ Barrett statistically is not even as good as DeMar on his worst day or his worst season. Go look at it. It's pretty freaking close. Stop. Listen, I understand everyone. I understand what it means to be a fan. I understand that we have these ideas. And I know that it's one of those things where we just we're frustrated, basically. Fan base is frustrated. I get that. I'm frustrated too. I'm frustrated with us not being able to have that continuity or that just string it together. We can't seem to string it together. We get rid of players and they go elsewhere and they blossom. Kind of shows you there's a culture issue right there, but that's a whole different video and conversation. Kind of shows you that we probably need to start from the top, but no one wants to have that. It's just all the players. We just keep it on the players. But no, like stop. That's why I've said, and I've always said, Chicago is one of the hardest places to be a professional athlete because we are accustomed to this or addicted to this mystique that we've built from an era that has been 2 decades. That happened 2 decades ago. In fact, at this particular point, we haven't had a winning culture from an NBA perspective, as far as winning championships and being a consistent threat, since the 90s. The Derrick Rose era was so short-lived. It was 1-2 good seasons. Guess what? No, it wasn't enough. I'm sorry. And I loved that team. I really did. Wasn't enough for us to sit there and say, oh, we expect to be here. We ain't had no expectation for nothing based off the last 20 years. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make it seem as if I've never said that we shouldn't trade Zach Lavine. Zach is a tradable piece. Don't get me wrong. But the bar is freaking high. If I wanted Dame Lillard, yeah, that's what I said. Dame Lillard, you have to give up Zach. From a financial standpoint, for it to even make sense, Zach has to be a part of that. And you know what? Kind of helps him. I know that he's from the West Coast, things of that nature. Maybe it works out for him. I get that, but look at the caliber of player I just freaking said. Dame Lillard. It's a top 75 player all time. It's been nearly 5,000 people who played this freaking game. You're trading this young star for a top NBA top 75 player. Don't give me no BS trade of some people who just had a couple good seasons. Stop playing with me. Don't give me Jaylen Brown, who people actually had the nerve to say was better than Zach, but he can't go left. You want to know what's so bad about that? Jaylen Brown was in the finals last season, wasn't he? They made the finals, didn't he? Draymond Green figured out that he couldn't go left in. You mean to tell me between now and then you didn't come up with any plan of attack to fix that weakness in your game? What you do for a year? What you do in your offseason? What did you improve at all? Why does your handle look worse? What's happening? But that's the player people want to sit there and do. And again, I like Jaylen Brown. I really do. He's a good player. He's a good two-way player. I think he can be a stud in this league. I think he can be a star. And I've always said that him and Jason Tatum don't work together. But y'all have the nerve to sit there and say that they should be together on the Bulls. It'll make me lose my religion out here. There's just some stuff. And then at the same time, what is this fascination with players who we say will be stars in other places who clearly ain't going to be? There's no way in the world some of you who ride for Kobe White could sit there with a straight face and say, even from a statistical standpoint, that he is head and shoulders better than Ayo Dosunmu. If you are actually out there with that particular take, you don't know basketball. And you're allowing your emotions to clearly blind you from a fact. That's just not the case. We have to start changing our narratives. We have to start changing how we go about judging these players. We have to start changing how we come up with these freakishly ridiculous ideas of who, like this ain't 2K. You can't just put a bunch of people on a roster and it just all of a sudden, boom, it works. Guess what? A lot of teams have tried in the last 10 years. It only worked out for a few of them. And the teams that did work out for, they had all-time greats with other all-time greats that worked out. Paul George is not even in the top 75. They brought Kawhi Leonard in there. They thought it was going to work out. Two injury-prone people. Did you really think? Did you really think? They can't figure what to do with Luka because they apparently, they want to bring everybody and their mama through there to help Luka, not realizing that Luka's a freaking problem. James Harden's been bouncing around half the league this whole time. Ain't got it done yet. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. And Adam Silver is actually telling you all now, hey, listen, there's going to be parity in this particular league. Prepare for it. The new CBA is going to ensure of it. So guess what? Get your ducks in a row. Start developing your young talent. Start going back to actually trying to be an organization. Develop these young players. Because there's a lot of people on some rosters right now who could hoop. All of them can hoop. But there's some people who can really hoop that just ain't got the opportunity. Because guess what? Their organizations have been trying to sit there and chase this facade of, we got to get this player. We got to get this player. It don't work. Not consistently. I don't want to hear your thoughts. I don't care this is one of those videos where I don't care what your thoughts are in the chat. I really don't. Really don't. It's one of those things where it's like, I have to get this run out because this is the dumbest thing ever. And it's the beginning of the offseason. It's the beginning of free agency. We have like 4 or 5 months of this. And I'm already at wit's end because some of the stupid stuff, you know what? Twitter is not good for anything other than pissing me off, apparently, because that's just ridiculous. But again, you know what? I got to say it. I want to hear your thoughts. I want all the smoke in the chat because apparently that's what y'all just wanted today. Y'all just wanted to say you got it today. Some of you all are new to this channel. You're gonna find out why they always call me Petty Casanova. And ain't a facade. I've been called that since I came on this show. Before I even knew that there was a Petty Roosevelt on Chicago Bulls Central or anything like that, I was Petty Casanova. You finna find out today. Today's the day. Whatever it is, put it in the comment. I'm gonna get out your person. One.